What's going on, y'all? Halftime hangout. I promise y'all we'll be doing this a little bit more. So here we are. The Bulls are playing great tonight. Bulls, they had only half the turnovers of the Knicks, but then towards the end there, they started turning the ball over more. But uh overall, Bulls playing really good tonight. The ball movement is the Bulls have had some showtime passes tonight, like between Io, that pass from Io, the alley from Io to DJ, was it, or was it Caruso? Bulls with 7 turnovers, Knicks with 12, so they're winning that battle. They're also running the rebound battle, which I did not expect this game. The Bulls are out rebounding the Knicks right now by 3, going in halftime up by 18. Honestly, probably should have been more. They should have gone into the half by 20, but this is a good game. They are playing good today. Out there playing on both ends. Troy Brown Jr., who I've been saying, I understood why he hadn't been in the rotation. He was playing horrible when he was getting minutes to start the season. Had a good stretch there. Probably trying to earn his way back into the rotation. This is a good game from our Chicago Bulls today, and that's what it's all about, man. That's really when it comes down to it. It's all about the Bulls coming out there and playing hard. How they play in this third quarter is going to be key. The thing I've been tracking is the Bulls and how they play in third quarters, and they kind of come out flat sometimes. Tom Thibodeau is going to make adjustments, right? We're going to see some big adjustments from Tom Thibodeau coming out of halftime. If the Bulls are able to overcome those and not lose this league big time, or not even go to the deficit, we're going to have a good game. Really good game. Everyone's passing the ball out there. Everyone's moving without the ball. This is the brand of offense that the Bulls are going to be best in. This is what's going to also keep them because they're playing so small out there compared to other teams. When you have all 5 players being able to move out there and pass, right? Yes, Derrick Jones Jr. isn't much of a passer. He can do some though, but when you have that and it doesn't let up when the bench comes in, that's the key thing, and that's what's going to be demoralizing for other teams. Is that when the Bulls bench comes in, yes, they don't have as many threats, but their style of play stays the same. Everyone moving is going to be hard for teams to defend like that, especially when we're smaller and quicker than those other teams. Key Isaac says, I'm loving it so far. Definitely. Okay, but let's keep in mind the Bulls do come out haven't lately, but they do come out of halftime sometimes flat. So let's keep watching that. JDH, you're fairly new to the channel. I've been seeing you more often, man, brother. Thank you so much for joining us and being there. It's been a long time since I've seen all 5 Bulls on the floor play scrappy defense like that. Listen, and I've been saying this before, I really do think part of Zach LaVine's improvement on defense, yes, the Olympics, you can't lay it all on Lonzo Ball, but just like I keep saying, watch the way Lonzo Ball is calling out and talking to his teammates. It really makes it easy. For other people, when you have somebody out there who really is such a smart basketball player that he knows what the other teams are going to be trying to do, and he's verbalizing that to his teammates. He's pointing. Lonzo Ball's, like I said, his contribution, I understand why people want to see him score more. He has that ability, but Lonzo Ball's contributions to this team and the improvement of the players around him, he makes defense easier on Zach. He makes defense easier on DeMar. 2 players that haven't always been known for their one-on-one defense, playing great team defense because they have a captain. Okay, no, he's not the captain of the team, but they have a point guard like Lonzo calling out and talking to his teammates. Rolla hasn't been playing much in the second. I got off work late, so I only saw the second quarter because he was busting ass in the first quarter. I think Lonzo played all of the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I think he may have went out there towards the end. So, yeah, I mean, he was getting his rest, especially going into halftime. But Lonzo's been busting ass out there, for real, for real. I'm not, people make fun of it. That's my term. I say that all the time. Alpha, I knew what you meant, Patrick, man. I knew what you meant. I like Io's minutes more than Kobe's right now. Listen, again, Kobe has the potential, right, his scoring to transform that Bulls bench. But potential be damned, right? Because potential is not always realized. Io is showing up. And the funny thing with Io is that Io is one of those players that, yes, he doesn't project to be a great shooter, right? But he has times and stretches if he gets hot where he shoots. The thing with Io that makes it is that he's always given effort on every play. He's always moving out there on offense. He passes the ball very well on offense. He frees it up for other people if he's not scoring. And we already know what of a beast and a dog he is defensively. I'm telling you, like I wanted to see, and I expect, and I still expect Kobe once he gets it going and he gets back in rhythm to be a very key important part of this Bulls bench. But Io, whoo, listen, but I've already talked about it. It's going to be really hard for the Bulls to keep Io if he keeps playing like this. But I'm the 2 years he's going to be here, I'm going to love it. I think that first quarter was the best we've seen the Bulls. So I agree. I don't think we've on both sides of the ball, right? We've seen better scoring quarters, right? We've seen better. Well, no, because I don't know. You're probably right though. I don't agree with you. 5 Caruso's on. Listen, that's difficult for any team. And Caruso, let's just talk about Caruso and the way that he plays heads up. This is what I say. Having a player like Lonzo and then having Caruso, right, to be out there with Lonzo sometimes and when Lonzo's not on the floor, and then add Io when Io's playing great as well. That right there, and I know they're 3 guards, but what they bring defensively and their intelligence defensively is it's amazing. Also, as you guys know, the ones who've been watching me on halftime hangouts before, I don't know when halftime ends. So please tell me when halftime ends so I can go back when they're coming back from halftime. You think we should start? No, I really don't. I don't think so because Kemba's deal, what we need to give up for Kemba. Now, if they buy him out, if anyone who's bought out, I think the Bulls should take a look at it. But I really do. Kemba's another guard. He's another small guard. He's not great defensively. Yes, he's a better scorer than Kobe White for sure, but I don't know. I really don't know. I think the amount of shots Kemba would need, I don't know if it messes up the chemistry or not. And plus, like, I think if it's not going to be Kobe, we really want to see Io get those minutes and continue to develop. But maybe that's just me. I wouldn't hate it though. I wouldn't hate it. Appreciate you, JDH. What do you think the key factors are? Just playing active on both? Everyone's playing with their heads up, right? The thing that hurt the Bulls is when they went to ISO ball. It's not just the ISO ball. It's the fact that sometimes the other players just kind of stood back and watched as well, or they weren't. I think what we're seeing here is that this team is finally starting to understand all of their roles. And I mean, from starters to bench players, they understand what they're out there to do. When you look at the confidence in which Derrick Jones Jr. is playing in, yes, he played with activity when he started getting minutes, but he didn't play with the focus he does now. Derrick Jones Jr. is moving out there with intention when he doesn't have the ball. He knows his teammates know where he likes the ball. They know what he's going to do. Hell, that one play where Alex Caruso, it didn't seem like Caruso was going to see him on that play, was able to make the pass to him so Derrick Jones Jr. can score. They are really starting to learn not just how each other plays, but how each other likes the ball. They're starting to know where the other players are going to move. They're starting to develop that sixth sense as teammates. That's the thing that's different with the way that the Bulls have played so far in this game. Also, everyone being engaged on defense. Everyone, even Vooch. Like, this is what I keep saying with this team. We don't have great one-on-one defenders outside of a few players, but the Bulls are playing amazing team defense. And because of that, it makes everything engaged. It makes everything so much easier on the offensive end as well. Bulls offense is unstoppable when Vooch scores early like this, the floor space. Yes. Well, I mean, and it's not just Vooch scoring. Like, yes, Vooch scoring and hitting, knocking his shots. Like, go back to look at those early games. Vooch was getting shots. They just weren't falling. Those games look completely different if Vooch is hitting his shots at a higher clip like he has been lately. With that being said, it also the players, like I said, moving with intention, being smart off the ball. They're just playing great out here. What's up, Bill? Appreciate you. AC, Alex Caruso, absolutely. Let's see if they can keep the big lead if they keep playing this. Absolutely. That's the thing that I was saying at the beginning of the stream. They got to come with the same intensity out of halftime. So many times the Bulls come out flat in the third quarter, and Tom Thibodeau is best believed. Tom Thibodeau is making big time adjustments right now, and that's what needs that the Bulls need to be prepared for that. Yes, the third quarter is a weakness, but I still think we're gonna. Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, man. Who's the player of the? Honestly, the team. Like, I'm taking the cop out there. Like, people are playing. Everyone's playing great. Everyone really is playing great today. Hopefully, we can come out in the third quarter with energy. We have to. We have to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, if Troy Brown Jr. plays like this, right? The thing that Troy Brown Jr. needs he doesn't really need to score off the dribble. They're going to get him open shots. If he can hit his open shots and play with activity on defense like he has so far this game, listen, combined with his length, he can play more positions. Keep in mind, Troy Brown Jr. came into the league, I think, expected to be a point guard. So he can play from the 1 to the 3. Now, with the way Billy Donovan plays, almost anyone can play that. With just like if you're a guard, you're going to play in probably out of position some. But Troy Brown Jr., if he can keep this going and show it while Kobe's out these 5 games or whatever it ends up being, he's going to make it really difficult for Kobe to keep getting minutes. The third quarter, of course, hasn't been prominent these past few games. Hopefully, we go exactly. Even the game that they lost to Miami, they won the third quarter. So yeah, I agree with you there. Do you think AC have a chance to win defensive players of? I don't think so off the bench. I don't think so. He would have to. I don't know what he would have to like. The averages would have to be now. Lonzo, he definitely has a chance being a starter. I think ultimately AC does have a chance, especially with his increased scoring that he's been having lately, to be 6th man of the year. I definitely think that, but the Bulls have to win. Keep in mind, if the Bulls get 50 plus wins, we are opening ourselves up to so many awards as teams. Um, just it's crazy, right? Crazy. Please make sure you guys tell me when we're coming back from halftime. I love this game. The ball movement is great, but you can tell DeRozan likes creating the shot a little more than passing. He still loves passing. Look, DeMar knows his role, right? And he's the battery in the Bulls back when they can't score because of his ability to get to the mid-range, because of his ability to draw fouls. If everyone else is cold, DeMar, even if DeMar's cold shooting wise, he still has a lane and ability to get points on the board. Levine does too, but to a lesser extent. I'm talking about withdrawing fouls. Sometimes Levine doesn't play as controlled as DeMar, so that's why he doesn't get a lot of the foul calls. But yes, absolutely. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, Kimma's out of the rotation. That's just crazy. It's definitely hard for a guard, especially guard off the bench. Matter of fact, if anybody feels like researching that, I don't know when's the last time a guard won Defensive Player of the Year off the bench. Hell, when's the last time a bench player won Defensive Player of the Year? Let's just think about that. Yes, sir. That Vooch pitch and roll. Listen, the pick and roll with Vooch, the pick and roll with Derrick Jones Jr. also has been lethal, not just in this game. Go back and look at the last few games. They've been like that Derrick Jones Jr. pick and roll, especially if it's with Caruso or Lonzo, has been really, 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 really dangerous. Halftime's just about over. Okay, I'll get ready to wrap this up. I appreciate everyone who's joined in, as well as Vooch excellent paint passes. Look, Vooch scoring, Vooch passing, Vooch being active on defense completely changes this team. All right, third quarter starting. We're going to end the stream. We are doing a live stream right after the game, so be back here. Be prepared to have a great conversation. Our after game live streams are great here, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the host, but we're going to go. I'm going to go watch this game, finish this game. I love you guys. Peace.